The sun was shining brightly, and the neighborhood park was alive with the laughter of children. Yet, 8-year-old Chris refused to join in. No amount of persuasion or promises from his parents could lure him away from the couch. Growing more puzzled, his parents sat beside him, gently asking, "Chris, why don't you want to go outside and play with the other kids? Is something bothering you?" Chris gazed at them with wide, anxious eyes before whispering, "I can't go outside. I saw something scary." Alarmed, his parents leaned in closer. "What did you see?" they asked softly. Chris hesitated, his small hands fidgeting. Then, he nervously confessed, "There's a monster in the bushes by the park." His parents exchanged a worried look and asked him to describe the monster. Chris described a creature with long, sharp teeth and glowing red eyes. Realizing they needed to take this seriously, Chris' parents decided to investigate. They walked to the park together, with Chris clinging to his mother's hand. When they got to the spot where Chris had seen the monster, they searched the bushes but found nothing. Just as they were about to give up, they noticed a small opening in the ground covered by a loose rock. They lifted the rock and peered inside, and to their surprise, they saw a pair of glowing red eyes staring back at them. At that moment, they realized the monster was actually a stray cat that had taken shelter in the hole. They called animal control, and the cat was safely captured and taken to a nearby shelter. After the excitement was over, Chris' parents sat him down and explained that sometimes our imaginations can play tricks on us, making us see things that aren't really there. Chris was relieved to know there were no actual monsters in the world, and he felt grateful to his parents for believing him and helping him face his fear. From that day on, Chris was no longer afraid to go outside and explore the world around him. But things didn't end there. While cleaning the park after the cat incident, Chris's father discovered something unexpected among the weeds and fallen leaves. He found an old, carefully folded note. When he opened it, he saw the message was written in almost indecipherable script and filled with mysterious symbols. Chris's father felt a mix of curiosity and anxiety. Why was this note here? What did it mean? He decided not to tell Chris right away to avoid scaring him further. Instead, he took the note home and began trying to decode it. He spent nights reading old books and searching the internet to understand the symbols. After days of research and investigation, Chris's father discovered that the note contained instructions for conducting a strange ritual. It mentioned a specific spot in the park where the ritual needed to be performed at midnight on a certain night. Chris's father decided not to ignore the matter. On the specified night, he went to the park with a neighbor who knew something about ancient rituals and legends. The park was eerily quiet, and the only light came from the faint glow of the moon. They reached the spot mentioned in the note and began setting up for the ritual. As they began, a sudden chill swept through the park, and the symbols on the note faintly glowed. Chris's father and his neighbor followed the instructions carefully. When they completed the ritual, the ground trembled, revealing a hidden door leading to a dark tunnel. With flashlights in hand, they cautiously descended. The tunnel's walls were covered in ancient markings, and at the end, they discovered an old, abandoned laboratory. Dusty papers, books, and strange equipment were scattered around. In the center, a large, locked book detailed strange experiments, including one that resembled the monster Chris had seen. Realizing the importance of their find, they gathered the materials and over the next few days, uncovered the story of a forgotten scientist who had conducted secret experiments. Some of his creations had apparently escaped into the wild. Chris's father decided it was time to tell his family about their findings. He sat down with Chris and his mother, explaining everything they had discovered. Chris listened in awe, his initial fear turning into fascination. His father assured him that the monsters were not supernatural, but rather the results of misguided scientific experiments. Together, they decided to inform the local authorities and historians about their discovery. The hidden laboratory and its contents became a significant point of interest, drawing experts and curious visitors alike. With the truth uncovered, Chris felt a newfound sense of adventure. He realized that the world was full of mysteries waiting to be discovered, and not all of them were scary. His fear of going outside transformed into a desire to explore and learn. Chris's parents encouraged his curiosity, taking him on trips to museums, libraries, and nature reserves. They taught him how to approach the unknown with a rational mind and a brave heart. Years later, Chris grew up to become a scientist, inspired by his childhood experiences. He dedicated his life to unraveling the mysteries of the natural world, always remembering the day he faced his fear and uncovered a hidden secret in his own backyard. The park, once just a simple place for children to play, became a symbol of the unknown and the adventures it held. Chris often took his children to the park, sharing tales of his childhood and the incredible discovery he made, the mysterious note, the hidden laboratory, and the life lessons that came from it. These memories stayed with him, reminding him that fear sometimes leads to the greatest discoveries. The story of Chris and the monster in the park became a beloved legend, inspiring curiosity and courage in future generations. As his father continued to unravel the mysteries of the hidden lab, he uncovered Dr. Carter's ties to a secret society, the Serpent and the Owl. This group, dedicated to unlocking forbidden knowledge, had operated in the shadows for decades, conducting dangerous and unethical experiments. Chris's father, intrigued by the deeper mystery, followed the clues left by Dr. Carter, traveling to remote locations and forgotten archives. His discoveries revealed the dark history of the society, a network of scientists pushing the boundaries of human knowledge at great peril. Dr. Carter's work on creating new life forms was just one of many projects undertaken by the society. As Chris's father uncovered more, he found that the society's influence extended far beyond their small town. They had chapters in major cities and had accumulated a wealth of knowledge and artifacts from their explorations. This discovery added a layer of danger to his research as he realized there were powerful individuals who might not appreciate their secrets being uncovered. As Chris's father pieced together the history of the society, he began to notice strange occurrences around his home. Condemned marked cars were parked nearby, unfamiliar faces appeared in the neighborhood, and odd phone calls ended abruptly. It became clear that his investigation had attracted the attention of those who wanted the society's secrets to remain hidden. One evening, after returning from another research trip, Chris's father found his study ransacked. The documents and artifacts he had collected were gone, and a single note was left behind: "Stop digging, or there will be consequences." Determined not to be intimidated, Chris's father decided to rally support. He reached out to other researchers and historians who had shown an interest in the society. Together, they formed a coalition dedicated to exposing the truth. They shared information, protected each other, and worked together to uncover more about the society and its activities. The coalition discovered that the society was planning a new experiment, one that could have catastrophic consequences. They needed to act quickly to prevent it. Their research led them to an old, abandoned mansion on the outskirts of town. This mansion had once belonged to a prominent member of the society and was now the site of their latest experiment. On a stormy night, Chris's father and his allies decided to confront the society and stop the experiment. Armed with knowledge and determination, they approached the mansion. The building was shrouded in darkness, its windows broken and its walls covered in ivy. Strange noises echoed from within, the sounds of machinery and unearthly growls. Inside, they found the society members conducting their experiment, led by a tall man with piercing eyes. The room was filled with strange equipment and mutated creatures. A confrontation unfolded, with Chris's father and his allies exposing the society's dangerous work. Defiant, the society refused to stop, but the coalition had evidence and the authorities arrived, shutting down the experiment. The mansion was searched, and the story made headlines. Chris's father became a local hero for his bravery, and the society's unethical practices were revealed. The hidden lab was preserved as a historical site, symbolizing the dangers of unchecked science. Chris, inspired by his father, grew up to be a respected scientist, committed to ethical research. The park, once a place of fear, became a beacon of adventure and discovery for generations to come.